Alright guys, welcome back to my video here. Today I'm in this process of showing you how to remove the brake booster. And for all brake booster in all cars, they all have the very similar principle. Now here I'm going to be pointing is going to be the brake booster unit right here. And you're going to have to remove all these four nuts that are 12 millimeter. You'll be using a 12 millimeter socket to remove it. Different ways people do it, but for me, I will go ahead and start off with moving this pin right here. See this pin? This pin is the pin that goes sideways right here. Okay, so this pin that I just showed you here is actually the pin that will be locking the brake foot pedal to the brake booster. So to find where the location is at, if you can't see it clear in this video, due to that my camera has a low battery, so the flash turn off, you will follow the brake foot pedal up the pedal, and you will see it up there that it will be connected to the brake booster, and you will remove this little pin, and then from there you will go ahead and start to remove the outside unit. And then once you remove the outside unit, which is the brake master cylinder, you will then come back on the inside and then remove four bolts on the inside to take out the brake booster. Okay, it goes across. It locks the pin, locks the brake pedal to the brake booster. And to release that, you have this locking pin that will go through here. That's the locking pin. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start to remove the nuts and bolts on the outside. So as you guys can see, this is the brake master cylinder here, and this is the brake booster. So this step here, many mechanic, depends on the individual, they prefer to remove the brake line. But to me, I choose not to do that, because once you release that, you're gonna have air pockets into your brake line. Then you're gonna end up have to bleed your whole brake system. So what I do is I remove this hose right here. I remove that bolt that holds all these metal brake lines to the wall, and then I remove all these four that hoses unit here. And then once that is done, you're able to just slowly pop it out. Okay, so let me move this. Okay, and then you just pop it out just like that. So you don't have to worry about bleeding your brake fluid or anything like that. Okay, so that's that. All right, so we're about to remove the brake booster. As you can see, we already separate the between of the booster and the master cylinder. But once we start pulling, it's gonna hit this intake plastic box here. So I recommend to remove this intake pipe out of the way, and that will make your life easier. Okay, one more thing. As you can see, my finger is pointing at this pin right here that's holding the brake line to the walls. You will need to remove or loosen it, because as you start to move the brake master cylinder, you will want to make sure that you don't kink or bent any of these brake line at the same time doing this service, or you will put yourself in a bigger, uglier mess. So yeah, you would want to remove that to make sure that you could pull your master cylinder a little bit far enough to where you could clear and remove your brake booster. So after this, now we're gonna go ahead on inside and remove those four nuts that I was talking about that's holding the brake booster to the firewall. Once we get that done, we're in the process of removing the brake booster out. As you guys can see on this picture here, I have already went on the inside and removed the four nuts on the inside that's holding the brake booster. And right here, I already have the brake booster out of here already, and we'll be putting in the new one using the reverse process, and you should be done. So next here I will be showing you how I place back the new brake booster. Alright, so this is how it goes. You see how it's flexible? You can always move it just a little bit. Don't overdo it. Okay? Don't overdo it. You always want to be careful that you don't kink any of these lines right here. Because if you kink it, then you should have went with the process of removing the line. But if you look carefully, make sure you don't kink anything, you should be able to slide in the brake booster, which is this one here. You want to make sure the hose right here, this vacuum line, is facing that way. So what you do is you will grab it from here, and then you will slide this unit in first, like this. And then you will slowly work it in, okay? Making sure that, you see that? We're almost done, okay? You take all these writing letters here. So we already got the brake booster in position. Now all I have to do is just line it up over here, okay? And we are in. See that? It's not that bad. If you know what you're doing, it's not that bad. So put this hose right here just to kind of help you hold it in place. At this point on, you want to then go inside the driver's seat on the bottom, and then you want to tighten up those 4 nuts that's holding the brake booster to the wall. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so now we got to this point. I already tightened up the inside already. As you can see, this is very sturdy now. So we'll go ahead and put this older gasket, because the new kit doesn't have it, but just to kind of have something to really seal it up. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and align my master cylinder right in. It's gonna, so this is the brake booster in here, and then you gotta want to make sure that the pin is straight in, okay, and nothing is pinched behind it. And then you're gonna align it in just like this, and then it should go in flush. You should see this bolt that comes out from the brake booster all the way out this far. Okay, so that tells you that it's straight. Let me go ahead and get the nuts and bolts, and let's get it ready to rock and roll. Okay, so these are the nuts and this is the bolt. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and place these nuts right here. One goes right here. Remember this hose? Earlier I just put in a little bit. Well, that's the clamp for it. Okay, so you want to make sure that you don't lose the clamp. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and push it in. Clamp it on. Remember, we're gonna tighten this one a bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this bolt in over here where it belongs. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but it's over here. And that's a number 10 millimeter socket over here. And these right here are 12 millimeter sockets. Okay. So you want to tighten it in a crisscross pattern like this. Do you have to always tighten in crisscross pattern? Yeah, it's up to you, but myself, I prefer to go crisscross. You don't want to over tight it, okay? You got to make sure that if you're not used to tighten these nuts and bolts, and you're not used to the pound, you don't want to over tighten it, or you're gonna end up breaking, and then it's just gonna make everything worse. See, so this process, the way how I do this, I don't have to mess around with the brake master cylinder. I don't have to mess around with the fluid, the brake fluid. None of that stuff. Okay guys, so now once you're done with tightening everything up, torquing everything in, and the next step is to put back your intake pipes. And once you're done with that, then you should be done with this project. So again, I hope that this video helps out a lot. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also, if you guys have any question or comments, or you're not sure about anything, you can always drop comments below here and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Okay, so I see you guys on the next video.